I hate this argument from mainstream media, liberals, and like obviously the liberal organs of information that the Republicans don't care about the border. It's like, yes, dude, we know they don't, but also they don't care about it because it's not a real problem. The notion that there's a real issue at the border should have never been adopted by the Democratic Party. That is not a position that the Democratic Party can ever win arguments on, regardless. This is the dumbest thing that the Democratic Party can do. It is a classic move that European center-left and center-right parties have done as well in order to maintain their power, in order to maintain their influence. Here's a tweet I made about it. Biden's task between now and November will be to convince an angry electorate that he's more serious about fixing the border than Trump is. Turns out, though, copying the far right doesn't help mainstream parties, but it can boost the far right. U.S. Dems, along with center-right and center-left neoliberal parties in Europe, are leaning into reactionary politics with the hopes of staying in power. All this does is normalize right-wing positions built on lies that they spent years supposedly combating. It's a massive failure and grown the right. And they've been doing this, and they've gotten worse at doing this. If you just adopt the furthest right position on everything, then why should anybody vote for you? You have now openly admitted that there is a problem where no such problem existed. And if there is a problem, I'm going to go vote for the guys who are the solution. That's what the Democrats are doing. A lot of independents and centrists now at least see how much Republicans don't actually care about the number one issue they scream about. I don't agree with the border bill at all, but this worked in the favor of the Dems, in my opinion. No, my friend, that is 100,000% copium. Here's why this is a massive failure, because to the independents, to the centrists, you now have openly admitted that there's a massive crisis at the border. That is a fundamentally right-wing position, because there is no massive crisis at the border. It's made up. It's concocted. That's why you only hear about it every fucking 2 years around a midterm or around a general election. It's not a real issue. So now the Democratic Party has basically said, you know what? We do believe this right-wing framing. They did this with crime as well. They did this with policing as well, where they took on the right-wing position and recognized that there's a massive crisis, but the Republicans don't care about solving that crisis. Well, guess what, dude? It doesn't matter, because to the Republican base, they don't give a shit. They are not going to be like, oh yeah, that's right. The Republican Party or Trump is not going to solve the border. Pfft, whatever. Shut up, pussy libtard. And to the centrists and the independents, they now believe that there's a crisis at the border. Do you think enough of them are going to go, no, the Democrats are the party that will solve the crisis? Or do you think enough of them will actually go, well, I know Trump will solve the crisis. It felt like Trump had solved the crisis at the border when he was president.